The mass of the carbon-12 atom was determined by the mass spectroscopy. So how to calculate the molar mass? So it is nothing but a mass of 1 mole of a substance in the gram. So 2 into atomic mass of the hydrogen divided by molar mass of the water into 100, which gives rise to the 11.018. Remember empirical formula which gives the idea about the whole number ratio of the atom which is present in the compound. Hello my dear students, a warm welcome you all. Myself is Purnima, lecturer in Department of Chemistry at Vidyashram Pre-University College, Temple of Excellence, Mysuru. My dear students, in our last discussion, we were dealing with the unit called Some Basic Concepts of Chemistry. Under that, we have studied about the few important things which comes under the first unit. That is atomic theory, which is given by the James Dalton, and also atomic mass, right? Atomic mass, which is nothing but a mass of an atom, right? And also we have discussed the gram atomic mass. So if the atomic mass, if it is expressed in a gram, then it is said to be gram atomic mass. Then coming into the average atomic mass. So if the some elements, if it is found in a different isotopic form, in such cases, we need to calculate the average atomic mass of that particular element. Example is carbon, and you can try with the chlorine also. And the next one is molar masses. So molar mass will be obtained by just adding the atomic masses of the each element which is found in that particular compound. Okay. And also we deal with the gram molecular mass. In a gram molecular mass, we have understood that just we are writing the molecular mass in terms of gram. In addition to this, we have also learned about the formula masses. So formula mass which comes only for the ionic compound. Okay, just we are adding the mass of the cations and the mass of the anions which is found in the ionic compound, that gives a formula mass. Now today we'll move on to the next topic of this unit is mole concept, and also with the molar mass. And later we'll move on to the percentage composition, and also with the empirical and the molecular formula. So this concept is very important for your examination point of view. So many times they have asked this question to find about the empirical and the molecular formula of the given compound. So please observe it carefully and try to listen carefully. So first I'll go for the mole concept. Okay. So before that, let me know few things about the mole. We all know that matter is made up of atoms or a molecule, and we all know that atoms and molecule, they are extremely small and they are present in a huge number. My question is, can we able to count those number of atoms or the molecule which is present in the matter? No, it's not so easy to count the number of atoms or the molecule which is found in a particular matter, right? So that is why we have introduced a new word that is known as mole. Mole is nothing but a number. Mole is nothing but a number. Okay, so just to count the microscopic entities, it may be atoms or it may be molecule or it may be ions. So to count these microscopic entities which is found in a particular matter, we use a term mole. Mole is nothing but a number. For example, in our daily life, we use a dozen to count the 12 items. And also we used to count the score with the 12 item, and also gross with the 144 item. Like that, in a chemistry, in order to count the microscopic entities such as atoms or the molecule or with the ions, we use the word that is known as a mole. And generally, we can say that mole is nothing but a number. And it was given by a scientist called as Ostwald. Ostwald was a scientist. He was the first person. He gave the a word mole to indicate the microscopic entities which is found in the matter. Remember, in the Latin word, the mole, which is nothing but a heap, And also, in a SI system, we have observed that the mole is one of the 7 base quantities which is there in our SI system, and it is measured as a amount of the substances. So in SI system, we have observed that the mole is nothing but one of the 7 base quantities. It is one of the 7 base quantity in the SI system that measures the amount of the substances. That measures what? Amount of the substances. So the mole can be defined as amount of the substances that contains as many as particle or the entities they are in the atom exactly in the carbon 12 of the 12 grams of the carbon 12 isotope. So this is a definitions about the mole. Remember, mole is nothing but a amount of substances that contains as many as particle as they are in the atoms of exactly 12 grams of carbon 12 isotope. So, in order to count the number of entities, that is nothing but a mole in a particular atoms or in a particular molecule, we use the mole. So how to count this or how to measure the mole? So for that, scientific community, they uses the carbon 12 as one of the standard, as we are already learned in the atomic masses. Here also they have used the carbon 12 as one of the standard to measure the mole. So the mass of the carbon 12 atom was determined by the mass spectroscopy. So by using mass spectrometry, they measure the atomic mass of the carbon, and it was found to be 1.992648 into 10 power of 23 gram. And by knowing that 1 mole of the carbon weight is 12 gram. So 1 gram of the or 1 mole of the carbon weight is 12 gram. So if you divide these values, you will get the number of atom which is found in the carbon, carbon 12 isotope. How it has to be divided? This is a 1 mole of the carbon weight divided by this is a atomic mass of the carbon, which is found in the, this is a mass of the carbon which is found in the mass spectroscopy. If you divide this, you will get the value of 6.0221367 into 10 power of 23 atom per mole. This shows that in a carbon 12 isotope, these many atoms will be there. So in a single carbon atom, how many atoms will be there? 6.022 into 10 power of 23 atom per mole. So to identify this number, they have introduced a new word known as Avogadro number. They have introduced a name called Avogadro number, and it is represented by the symbol called Na, which is represented by the symbol called Na. So, Avogadro number or Na, which is equal to 6.022 into 10 power of 23 atom per mole. So, this was a idea was given by the scientific community just to count the number of microscopic entities which is found in each matter. So, the example I have shown you that how to calculate the number of atoms. Okay, so we can say that 1 mole of the hydrogen that contains 6.022 into 10 power of 23 atoms. So we can say that 1 mole of hydrogen atom that contains 6.022 into 10 power of 23 atom, which means to say that imagine you have a 1 mole of the hydrogen that contains how many atoms? 6.022 into 10 power of 23 atom per mole. Okay. Similarly, you can consider the example for the molecule also. So 1 mole of the water molecule that contains a 6.0 22 into 10 power of 23 atom per mole. This is how we can define we can get the number of atom which is found in a particular atom either in the molecule also by using this standard which was found by the scientific community. Remember the mole concept which is very new for us, right? So here the mole which is nothing but a number. What does this number indicates? Number of entities which is found in the matter. What are the entities? It may be atom or it may be particle or it may be molecule or it may be ion. How to find this? Just what they have done, they have taken out the carbon-12 as a standard isotope, okay, and they have measured the mass of that carbon isotope in the spectrometry and they have found that mass will be equal to the 1.992648 into 10 to the 20 minus 23 gram, and also they know the weight of the carbon is 12 gram. They divide the weight with this mass and they get a new value. To name this new value, they have introduced a new word called as Avogadro number, and this Avogadro number, it is a constant value where we are using in our next calculation also. Remember, this will be obtained by taking the carbon-12 as a one of the standard element, okay. So by this we can say that 1 mole of the any atom or any molecule will be equal to the 6.022 into 10 power of 23 atom per mole, okay. So next is nothing but a mass of 1 mole of a substances in the gram, it is said to be molar mass. Once you understand the mole concept, we have to go to the molar mass. So how to calculate the molar mass? So it is nothing but a mass of 1 mole of a substances in the gram. So mass of 1 mole of a substances in the gram, then it is said to be molar mass. So that the molar mass of the water is 18.02 gram per mole. 18.02 gram per mole. Another example, you can take the example of the sodium chloride is 58.5 gram per mole. This is how from the mole concept we can define the molar mass. Molar mass is nothing but a mass of 1 mole of a substances in terms of gram. Okay. And the example is water and sodium chloride. Next is nothing but a molar volume. So molar volume is nothing but a volume which is occupied by the 1 mole of a substances is said to be molar volume. What is molar volume? It is nothing but a space which is occupied by the 1 mole of a substances and it is denoted by the symbol called as Vm. Okay. So 1 mole of all gaseous substances at 273 Kelvin and at 1 atmospheric pressure, it occupies the volume which is equal to 22.4 liter or 20,400 milliliters. So this is a standard value where we are using to calculate the volume which is occupied by the substances. Okay, so the volume is occupied by the all gases at standard temperature and pressure is 22.4 liters. Then the unit for the molar volume will be expressed in liter per mole or with the milliliter per mole. So these are all the things you have to keep it in your mind while solving the problem. Okay, next. This is a small recap of the mole when we expose in terms of particle or when we expose in terms of volume or if we expose in terms of molar masses. Okay. So for just we recall it. So 1 mole which is equal to how many atom? 6.022 into 10 power of 23 atom per mole. Okay. So 1 mole which is equal to 6.022 or 10 to 10 power of 23 atom per mole. So 1 mole in terms of particle, it is said to be 6.022 or 22 or 23 into 10 power of 23 particles will be there in the 1 mole. Or if you are exposed in terms of molar volume, we come to know that the volume will be occupied by the all gases at standard temperature and pressure will be 22.4 dm cube. Okay, 22.4 dm cube. Suppose if you are expressing the mole in terms of molar masses, we can express it in terms of gram atomic weight or with the gram molecular weight also. This is how the mole play a very important role in chemistry, just to count the number of entities. It may be atom, or it may be particle, or it may be in the form of molecule also. Understood? We'll move on to the next topic, that is percentage composition. So what is meant by percentage composition? Let us understand. So just now we have learned that how to count the number of entities which is found in the matter. Suppose if I give a compound to you, can you identify the how many elements are present in a particular composition? It's not so easy to count the number of elements which is found in a particular percentage, right? So that is why in the chemistry we had a formula to count the number of elements which is found in a particular percentage in your given compound. So the percentage composition, which is nothing but each constant element which is present in an compound, which is said to be percentage composition. How to calculate this? Just by dividing the mass of that element in the compound divided by molar mass of the compound. So just by dividing the mass of that element divided by molar mass into 100, you will get the percentage composition. So it's very easy. If somebody give you the compound, so how can you calculate the percentage composition? By using this formula. So how to calculate this? Just by dividing the mass of the element in the compound divided by molar mass of the compound into 100. Here I have taken the example of the water. We know that water is a compound that consists of hydrogen and oxygen, different element. In this compound, let's see how to calculate the percentage composition of the hydrogen as well as with the oxygen. So first, for that, we need to know the molar mass. How do we calculate the molar mass? As we have already learned that. So molar mass will be obtained by counting the number of atomic masses of the each element, right? So it can be obtained by, so what is the formula for the water? That is H2O, right? So 2 into atomic mass of hydrogen is 1.008 plus, how many oxygen will be there? Only 1, it is 16. If you multiply these two, and you will get 18.02 gram. 18.02 gram, and this is a molar mass of the water. So this is a molar mass of the water. First you have to find out, okay? Later we need to calculate the percentage composition. How to calculate this? By using the formula. So the formula says that mass of the element. So if you take the formula, that is water that consists of 2 hydrogen. So 2 into atomic mass of the hydrogen divided by molar mass of the water into 100, which give rise to the 11.018. So this is a percentage of the hydrogen element which is found in the water molecule. Similarly, you can calculate for the oxygen. So here only one oxygen atom will be there in our compound water. So divided by molar mass of the water into 100, and you will get 88.78. So this is a percentage of the oxygen which is found in the water molecule. So this is how, by easily, if somebody give you any compound, you can calculate the percentage composition by using this formula. Let's take another example just to make you clear about this topic. Okay. So what is the percentage of carbon and hydrogen present in the ethanol? It's very, very important for your examination point of view. Last year also they have asked the same question just to calculate the percentage composition of carbon, hydrogen and oxygen which is present in the ethanol. So this is the structure of the ethanol, which consists of 2 hydrogen, 2 carbon and 6 hydrogen and 1 oxygen. Let's see how to calculate this. So first is we need to calculate the, first we need to write the molecular formula of ethanol is C2H5OH. Then what is the next step? We need to calculate the molar mass of the ethanol. How to calculate this? So we know that there are 2 carbon atom will be there. 2 into atomic mass of the carbon plus 6 into atomic mass of the hydrogen. So here if you see that figure, you can clearly see that there are 6 hydrogen atom will be there. So 6 into atomic mass of the hydrogen plus 16.00, that is the atomic mass of the oxygen. If you simplify this, you will get the molar mass of the ethanol. Molar mass of the ethanol, that is 46.068 gram. Then we are calculating the mass percentage of the carbon, hydrogen as well as the oxygen. Just use the formula, that is the mass of the element divided by molar mass of the element into 100. So this is a mass of the carbon. Why it is 24? Usually it is 12, no? But here you can see that there are 2 carbon atom will be there. So it is multiplied with the 2. So you will get 24.02 divided by molar mass into 100, you will get 52.14%. 52.14%. Then coming into the hydrogen. So what is the atomic mass of the hydrogen? 1.008 into 6. If you multiply this, you will get 6.048 divided by molar mass of the ethanol into 100, you will get 13.13%. So this is a percentage of the hydrogen which is present in the ethanol. Coming into the last one, that is the oxygen, that consists of only one oxygen atom divided by molar mass of the ethanol into 100, you will get 34.13%. This is how by easily we can calculate the percentage of the each element which is found in the particular compound by using this formula. Hope you all understood with how to calculate the percentage composition by using the formula. Then we'll move on to the next topic, that is empirical and a molecular formula. It is also very important. Okay. So just to calculate the empirical and a molecular formula. Let's see what is the empirical formula. Empirical formula that represents the simplest whole number ratio of the various atoms present in the compound. So it represents what? Simplest ratio of number of atoms which is present in the compound. For example, if you consider the benzene, C6H6 is a molecular formula of the benzene. Then how to calculate the empirical formula? Empirical formula which shows that, or it will be says that it is nothing but a number of atoms which is present in a simple whole number ratio. Here, how many different atoms will be there? Only 2, that is carbon and hydrogen. So they are present in a 1:1 ratio, right? They are present in a 1:1 ratio. So this was given by the empirical formula. Remember, empirical formula which gives an idea about the whole number ratio of the atom which is present in the compound. Understood? For example, if you take the glucose, C6H12O6. Okay, here you can see that 6 is common, so that you can tell that it is present in the 1:2:1 ratio. Understood? 6 is common. If you can take it and you can mention as 1:2:1. This is the ratio of the carbon and hydrogen and oxygen which is present in a compound called as glucose. That says about the empirical formula. Just it gives an idea about the ratio of the number of atoms present in the compound. Then coming into the molecular formula. So what is the molecular formula? It exactly says about the number of different types of the atom which is found in the compound. So it says exactly the how many number of atoms which is found in the compound which is given by the molecular formula. For example, if you say that CH is the empirical formula for the benzene, so in empirical formula we exactly say that only 6 hydrogen and only 6 oxygen they are present in the molecule. They are present in the compound. So that was a exact idea was given by the molecular formula. It tells about the exact number of atom which is found in that molecule. Example, and also after knowing this definition about the molecular formula and also with the empirical formula, we need to know the relationship between these two. Okay. So molecular formula which is equal to empirical formula into n, where n represents the whole number having the value 1, 2, 3, 4 and it will go on. And it can be also calculated as n is equal to molecular formula divided by empirical formula. So this is how empirical formula and the molecular formula, they relate to each other with the whole number will having the value 1, 2 and 3, 4. So let's see by taking the example how to calculate the empirical and molecular formula. So it's very important. This problem will be asked so many times in your final examination. Let's see how to do this. Okay. So a compound contains 4.07% of hydrogen, 24.27% of carbon and 71.65% of chlorine, and the molecular mass will be 98.96 gram. What is the empirical and the molecular formula? What is the empirical and the molecular formula? So how to calculate this? Let us understand. So first you need to make a table which consists of elements. So how many elements which is given in your problem, you have to say that. So here you can see that hydrogen, carbon and chlorine are the three different elements which is given in our problem. So I have written the symbols of the element. Next is percentage composition. So percentage composition also they have given in the problem itself, that is 24.27 and 4.07 and 71.65 are the percentage composition of the each carbon, hydrogen and the chlorine. Now, we need to know the atomic masses. We are all familiar with the hydrogen and also with the carbon, and also please remember with the chlorine also, that is 35.5. This is the atomic mass of the chlorine. After writing all these things, now it's very important to write the percentage composition. So percentage composition divided by atomic mass we have to write. So this is a percentage of the carbon divided by atomic mass of the carbon, which gives rise to 2.02. Okay. Next, this is a percentage of the hydrogen divided by atomic mass of the hydrogen, which gives rise to 4.07. And next one is a atomic. This is a percentage composition of the chlorine divided by atomic mass of the chlorine, so which gives rise to 2.01. After you getting this value by dividing the percentage composition with the atomic mass, now we have to divide this value with the smallest value. So what is the smallest value here? You can see that 2.01, which is higher when compared to the 2.01, right? So 2.0 is the smallest value which is found with this three different molecules or with the three different elements, we can say. So we need to divide this whole value with this smaller value. You will get 1, and this is a final value. Divide with the smaller value, you will get 2.02, and this is the final value. Divide with the smaller value, which gives us to the 1. And later is a rounding of the whole number, or to the rounding off to the nearest whole number. How to round off? You can say that it is only one carbon will be there, and you can round off to the 2 here, and here also you can round off to the 1. That shows that if you write this entire blocks, and if you can easily tell that there are only one carbon atom will be there, and 2 hydrogen will be there, and 1 chlorine will be there. Right? After getting this rounding off, you will clearly say that there are only 1 carbon, 2 hydrogen and 1 chlorine atom will be there, or the chlorine elements will be there in our given compound. Then we can clearly say that empirical formula is nothing but a CH2Cl. Why it is CH2Cl? Only 1 carbon, 2 hydrogen and 1 chlorine. Understood? Now, we need to calculate the molecular mass. We all know that empirical formula which is also calculated for this compound, that is for the carbon atomic mass will be 12 plus 2 into atomic mass of the hydrogen is 1.001. I'll consider as a 1, and this is the atomic mass of the chlorine which gives rise to the molar. This is a value for the molar mass of the given compound. Here we have find out which is the compound. For this we need to calculate the molar mass, that is 49.5 by using this formula as we get from the table. Next step is we need to divide this molecular mass divided by empirical mass. Just now we have found that the empirical formula mass is nothing but a 49.5. And also molar mass they have given from the formula, that is 98.96. If you divide this, you will get 1.99. Around we can round off to the 2. That shows that molecular formula which is into empirical formula into N, which is equal to CH2Cl whole bracket into 2. We have to multiply the whole formula with the 2 because the value of the N is 2. Right? Because just now we have got the values of the N as a 2. If you multiply this, you will get CH2H4Cl2. CH2H4Cl2. So this is our empirical formula as just we got from the table. After that, we obtain the values of the N by dividing the molecular mass with the empirical mass, right? Or with the empirical formula. We get the values of the N as a 2. So whole formula must be multiplied with the 2. You will get C2H4Cl2. This is a given compound as we obtain from the formula, as we obtain from the problem. So this is how we can easily calculate the empirical and the molecular formula of the given compound. Hope you all understood with this topic. Remember, it is very important topic for your examination point of view. Most of the time the same question will be asked in your final examination. You must know this, how to put this table. The table must be same if you consider any compounds, okay? So only thing is here the elements will get changed. Sometime they'll give oxygen, hydrogen along with the carbon. Sometime they'll give carbon and hydrogen itself. So it depends upon the question paper setter to give the number of elements which is found in a given compound. The same step you have to follow and you have to get the molecular formula and empirical formula of the given compound. And it's very easy and you can get easy marks from this topic. Hope you all understood. In the next session, we are going to discuss with the stoichiometry and the stoichiometry calculation. In addition to that, we are also going to discuss with the limiting reagent. So at last, I like to say that what we have discussed in this session, it is very important for your examination point of view. You must know this basis about the mole and also with the mole concept along with the empirical and molecular formula. If you know this topics, you can clearly get the out of 4 in your first PUC. Understood? Hope you all understood with this session. We'll meet you in the next session. Thank you.